Let's go Dolphins! After an incredible midseason turnaround, something big is happening in South Florida, and nobody's talking about it as much as they should. But here's the thing, there's a deeper story behind this rise. One that could change the narrative about Mike McDaniel's future, shake up the AFC playoff race, and possibly reveal the true identity of this Dolphins team once and for all. And I have everything you need to know here. But before I reveal all the details, be sure to like this post if you bleed blue and orange like me. Only true Dolphins fans can continue from here, so if you've been with this team through thick and thin, go ahead and comment, "Go Dolphins! We can make it to the Super Bowl!" I want to see how many of you are truly willing to embark on this journey. Now let's get to it, because what's happening behind the scenes in Miami is much more intense, much more surprising, and much more important than anyone imagines. Let's talk real. The Dolphins are making waves, winning 5 of their last 6 games and now sitting at 6-7, with the exact same record as 2 of the AFC's most hyped teams, the Chiefs and the Ravens. That's right. If I had told you back in Week 7, when Miami had only 1 win, that they'd be level with Baltimore and Kansas City through Week 14, you'd have called me crazy. And yet, here we are. The belief is real. The buzz is justified. But let's be honest, making the playoffs is still a long shot. Miami's chances currently sit at 16% if they win out. It can jump to 23% if the Eagles beat the Chargers on Monday Night Football. However, if the Chargers win, Miami's odds drop to just 11%. That's a massive 12% swing based on 1 game. So yes, this isn't just about watching other teams play. It's about watching every down with playoff implications in mind. And don't even get me started on the Dolphins' rushing game. It's becoming something historic. Miami has rushed for over 150 yards in 4 straight games. That hasn't happened since 1977. That's nearly 50 years. And a huge part of this resurgence is thanks to none other than Devon Achane. Despite suffering a rib injury against the Jets, Achane was still suited up on the sideline, helmet on, pads on, coat over his shoulders. Mike McDaniel even confirmed that Achane was available in case of an emergency. That means his injury isn't severe, and it's looking likely that he'll be available for the critical Week 15 matchup against the Steelers. Now let's talk numbers, because Devon Achane isn't just good, he's electric. He's 3rd in the entire NFL in rushing yards with 1,126, despite only having 193 carries. That's fewer carries than any other back in the top 5. His 5.8 yards per carry average, best in the league among top rushers. He's efficient, explosive, and consistently putting the Dolphins in winning situations. Imagine where he'd be if he hadn't missed time or if Miami had committed to the run earlier in the season. We could be talking about the league's leading rusher. Mike McDaniel's run schemes have also been eye-opening. One particular play stood out where the Dolphins pulled their center, right tackle, and left tackle on a shotgun sweep to Jalen Wright. That's wild. It shows the creativity and daring behind McDaniel's game plan, but it also raises a question. Why does he sometimes abandon the run when it's clearly working? Against the Jets, he briefly got cued in the 2nd and 3rd quarters before returning to the ground game in the 4th and closing it out. That tendency to drift away from what's working could be what keeps Miami from reaching its full potential. Tua Tagovailoa also deserves a shout-out. Sunday marked the first time in his career that he won a game in temperatures below 46 degrees. Let that sink in. He was 0-7 in cold weather games. He's now 1-0 this season, and that's no small feat when talking about December football, when the games get colder and the hits get harder. And now we look ahead to a massive test on Monday Night Football against the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is the kind of game that could define Mike McDaniel's coaching tenure. The Steelers are above .500 at 7-6, and if McDaniel can pull off a win on the road, in the cold, against a quality opponent, it might just silence the doubters and inspire renewed belief across the fan base. Pittsburgh has been vulnerable against the run this season, allowing over 125 yards per game and ranking near the bottom in multiple rushing defense metrics. This is the perfect opportunity for Miami to impose its identity, pound the rock, control the clock, and keep those playoff hopes alive. Because let's face it, 1 loss and it's over. Miami has to finish 10-7 to have a real shot. And with the defense steadily improving since September and the offense discovering its ground game identity, this team might just be peaking at the right time. But the margin for error? It's razor thin. The Dolphins are at a pivotal moment. Everything they've built over the last 6 weeks, every yard gained, every defensive stand, every ounce of belief, they've all led to this upcoming battle against the Steelers. And this isn't just another game. This is a referendum on everything the Mike McDaniel era stands for. Because beating a team like Pittsburgh on the road in December isn't just about the win-loss column, it's about legitimacy. And let's talk about that legitimacy. For all the praise Mike McDaniel receives for his offensive creativity, there's been one major stain on his resume, the inability to win tough games in cold weather against quality teams. That's the truth. Whether it's December collapses or playoff chokes, fans have been waiting for that breakthrough moment. This Steelers matchup on Monday Night Football might just be it. A win here would send a message not only to the fan base but across the entire league. This Dolphins team isn't soft, they're not finesse only, and they're absolutely capable of grinding out tough wins. But it's not just Mcdaniel under the microscope, it's the entire identity of this team. The defense, for instance, has transformed. Early in the season, it was a shaky unit, giving up big plays and struggling to stop the run. Now, it's become a strength. Week after week, the improvement is visible. Players are flying to the ball, closing gaps, and making game-changing plays. And this week, they'll need to keep that intensity because Pittsburgh, no matter how inconsistent, is a franchise built on toughness. They'll test Miami's will in the trenches. That's where the Dolphins' revamped rushing attack comes in. It's not just a hot streak, it's become their identity. This offensive line, once criticized for pass protection issues, has found its rhythm in run blocking. Watching Aaron Brewer, Austin Jackson, and Patrick Paul all pull on a single sweep play shows just how athletic and synchronized this group has become. That kind of cohesion doesn't happen by accident. It's the product of coaching, reps, and belief. And when you've got backs like Devon Achane and Jalen Wright who can take a sliver of space and turn it into a 30-yard gain, you have something special brewing. So yes, Achane's health is a big deal. We saw what he did with just 7 carries against the Jets, nearly 100 yards in under a half. That kind of efficiency is unheard of. And if he's ready to go Monday night, the Steelers' 21st ranked run defense could be in for a nightmare. Miami doesn't need to reinvent the wheel, they just need to stick to what's been working. Run the ball, dominate the line of scrimmage, then hit play-action shots when the defense creeps up. As for Tua, this is another chance to silence critics. He's already broken one narrative with the win in freezing weather. Now, he can add another layer, winning a meaningful primetime game on the road in December. That kind of performance can cement his role as the franchise quarterback not just statistically, but emotionally. The team rallies behind Tua when he's confident, and with this ground game supporting him, the table is set for him to shine. One more thing to remember, the rest of the AFC playoff picture is chaotic. The Colts, Chargers, Texans, and Bills are all in striking distance. Miami fans will have to root for chaos, root for those teams to stumble. But none of it matters if the Dolphins don't handle business. That's why this next game is everything. No more looking ahead. No more hoping others lose. It's win or die. Simple as that. Because if Miami wins this one, on the road, against a playoff caliber opponent, it's no longer a fluke. It's not a hot streak. It's a statement. And more importantly, it would put them right back in the thick of the playoff hunt with 3 games to go. Fans are tired of moral victories. They want results. They want to believe this team can finally break the cycle and do something special. So I'm asking you, Dolphins fans, do you believe? Do you believe this team can walk into Pittsburgh and show the entire country on Monday Night Football that the Miami Dolphins are for real? Comment below, hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's coming next. I've got another video on the screen right now breaking down Achane's rise this season. You don't want to miss it. If you've ever worn that aqua and orange with pride, if you've ever screamed your lungs out at Hard Rock Stadium or from your couch, then you already know this isn't just football. This is family. This is tradition. This is the fight, the glory, and the heart of the Miami Dolphins. For decades, this team has been more than just a franchise. From the legendary perfect season of 1972 to the electric new era led by head coach Mike Mcdaniel, the Dolphins have always carried the weight of history with the hunger of a team chasing destiny. And make no mistake, this team is built to contend.